If you're looking to build out a KPI tile with a bit more information, i.e. showing a chart, showing some performance over time and being able to highlight the minimum and maximum values, then this is the video for you. Hey guys, welcome back to Rather Be Visin. My name is Sam, and today we're going to be taking a look at how you can build out a KPI tile with a nice little chart next to it showing you your minimum and maximum months of performance in this particular instance. This is a great way of building upon the KPI tiles that you maybe already have if you also want to show what that performance is over time, so you can see when you're performing well or when you're performing not so well. So without any further ado, let's hop straight into Tableau and have a look at how we would build this out. Okay, so here we are in Tableau. You can see I've already got this built out, but don't worry, I'll go through the steps in just a second. But to build out the KPI tile, we're going to have two sheets. The first sheet is our sort of big ass number section here, where we've got what metric we're looking at, we've got the performance in a particular year, we've got the comparison, and then we've got the percentage and the absolute difference. And then our second sheet here, we've got a very simple chart where we're also highlighting the minimum and the maximum values. So I'm going to come over to a new sheet. Now I've already got all of my metrics built, but it's the classic ones. So we've got the comparison year, the selected year, and then we've got the percentage and the absolute difference. So I'm just going to pull these in and we can speed up this bit so you don't have to watch me do every single step. Okay, so there we have it. We've got our quantity. I'm just going to rename this to quantity total. And I'm just going to set my text. I'm going to align it over to the right hand side, or the left hand side, sorry. So there's our first sheet done. Now we need to make our chart. So I'm going to make a new sheet and I'm going to call this quantity chart. And to start off with, I'm going to bring in my order date. I'm going to stick that onto columns and I'm going to change that to month. So now we've got our months coming across the page. And then I'm going to bring in my quantity for the selected year and drop that onto rows so we get our line chart here. I'm then going to bring in my quantity for the selected year again, drop that on rows, and I'm going to dual axis this. So now we've got them both on the same axis. We can right click and make sure the axis is synchronized. And then I'm going to change my second one here to be a circle. So now we've got all of the dots that we can then change into highlighting our minimum and maximum values. And so the way that we do that, if we have a look at the one I've already done for sales, we've got sales min max. If I come and have a look at that, you can see that we've got a if statement here. So if the sum of our metric for the selected year is equal to the window max, then I want to indicate that this is the max. The same again, if it's as the min, then I want to highlight it as min, and otherwise I want to say it is neither. Let's take a copy of this and make this for our quantity. So this is going to be quant min max. So if the sum of my quantity for the selected year is equal to the window max for the quantity of the selected year, then max. And then again, if it is equal to the minimum, then I want it to be min, and then otherwise I want it to be neither. And the way that the window max and window min sums work, or calculations work, is it has a look at all of the data within the view and it says, is this the largest value within the view that we've got here within the window? So if I filter out things, then that will change. So if I was to filter out the max value, then it would go to the next max, because it's no longer, that max value is no longer in the sheet. So therefore the calculation is changing. So if we click OK on that, now we can bring our quantity min max onto color. And you can see we've now got two different colors for our min max, and then the rest are highlighted different for neither. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here. I'm just going to change these colors. Where's my lightning? I'll change my max to be a blue, minimum to be a purple, and then neither. I'm going to come to gray and I'm going to pick this light gray here. I'm just going to double click in here and I can see the code is D3, D3, D3. If I click apply, now we can see we've got that going on. So I'm just going to come into my line. I'm going to change the color of this to be the same as those circles. And so now we're all the same. But the problem you can see here is that we have still got some big circles when we aren't showing, or we're not interested in that value. It's not the minimum or the max. So what we can do is add our min-max calculation onto size. And we can come in here and we can edit the sizes, and we can say we want this to be reversed. And if we apply, we can see that now it makes our max really big, our minimum a little bit smaller, and then all the rest are tiny. And we can play around with the size, so we can play around with those sizes a bit. Probably want to keep it around there. Hey, Sam from the future here. There's actually an easier way in order to resize these two pills. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a copy of our quantity min max, and we're going to edit this. I'm actually going to do a case statement. So we're going to say case quant min max, when max, then 5, when min, then 5, when neither, then 0. And we'll end that there. We'll call this min max sizing. And if we bring that on and replace our sizing with that, then both of our minimum maximum will be the same size, and our values we're not interested in will also be the same size. So that's just an easier way of doing it rather than faffing around with resizing, all of that stuff. Anyway, back to past me and seeing how we finish this all off. Now what we're going to do is just hide all of the axes. We can hide this field label up here, and we're going to right click on the months down here and select format, and we're going to change the dates to be the first letter. So we've just got J, F, M, A, M, and so on and so forth. Finally, also in this format menu, we're going to get rid of all of our grid lines, and we're going to come into the borders, and we're also going to get rid of all the borders so that it will be a completely blank sheet, so that when we make this into a KPI tile, it doesn't look as clear that there is a gap between the two. So now if I come over to my KPI tiles dashboard here, you can see I've already got my sales in there. And the way that we build this out, we're going to bring in a horizontal container, and we're going to make sure we're on floating. Bring that in, and then we're going to bring in our quantity total, drop that on the left-hand side, bring in our chart, stick that on the right-hand side. Get rid of these. We can then hide these titles. Make sure both of these are set to entire view, so they take up all the space that's available to them. Play around with the sizing a bit, and we're going to double click so we select the container, come to layout, and change the border to be a black border, so it highlights or puts both of them inside that box. And then we can resize this, and now we've got both of them there. And so if we wanted to have these along the top as a sort of big ass number across the top of our page, we could bring in another horizontal container. Again, I'm going to bring it in as floating, and then I'm going to double click and select this container and drop that in. And then I'm going to double click and select this container and again drop that in there. And they're going to select that larger container that I put both of them in and select distribute contents evenly. And then I'm going to just resize this. I don't think I picked the right container there. I've put my quantity in my sales container. So let's put a blank here. There we go. And putting that blank in there just means it's going to be easier to drop my quantity in there. Now when I distribute contents evenly, we can see they're all taking up a third because of that blank that's in there. So I can resize this. I can take out that blank, and now both of these are the same size. And of course, you can do this for any of your metrics. As you can see in my build here, I've got ones for profit, order, discount, and profit ratio. So I can build that out for all of these. And then I have quite a nice bunch of KPI tiles across the top. And that's it. That's how you can build out a nice little KPI tile with a matching chart so you can have a look at the performance over time. Hopefully you found that useful. If you did, as always, please do let me know in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. And I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers for watching.